KS is saying, so basically one must be neutral to all of this and just observe all. That's the best way. Like, let's say, Eckhart Tolle, I doubt he gets triggered. Like, he literally dealt with his case. The emotional body, like the victim body, whatever, like he describes, that part of you that sort of craves for the problems and will try to cause it in your life. It's like, he dealt with it. A lot of people in their life, they get rid of that case that attracts problems. The reactive case. Or, if there is a problem, they know how to deal with it. If we get totally emotional, like, okay, let's see what triggers you. If you were an ET, a super smart being, and one way you could extend your life and power up the technology would be to trigger someone, how would you do it? There's a game, I think, called Neighbors from Hell. I'm not sure. I think I used to play it when I was a kid. I'm just gonna look it up. Neighbors from Hell. Yeah. That's the one. Neighbors from Hell. And Neighbors from Hell is an interesting game, and it's like, it's amazing that I remembered it right now. But in the game, you only beat the level when you trigger your neighbor to the top of the scale. And in order to do stuff, you need to mess with him. And let's see if I can find a little part where I can show you. Season 1, So there's this meter over here that you need to hit in order to beat the level. And in order to have it all the way up, I assume that's how the game works, so you need to trigger him. So the way to trigger him would be to have him sit on this fart bag, and he's gonna react like, fuck, I farted, what's this little shit? And then you're gonna use glue. He's gonna get stuck. So all of a sudden this guy goes and does things, and there's this fucking entity, like over here person, he's gonna try to fuck up your life. And you only beat the level when you get score. Like, boom, he got triggered with all of these things. We can ask a little thing like, okay, you're gonna prep the trap, so you mixed up like whatever with his food or things, and now you're gonna like take the egg, like do whatever, microwave it maybe, like I don't know, but the guy eventually does another thing and reacts, and he gets like really triggered. There you go, like you fucked up his cable, he's there in the toilet, so probably he has glue or whatever. Oh, I have toilet paper. Triggered! And you hit the bar, and you score. So that's like a little game. But that's how life works. This is how ETs, like let's say, yeah, they're collecting loosh to power up their technology, to power up like suns, or like to extend their lives and other things. It's a loosh farm. This place sees all the beings here as people who are like, how can we produce fucking energy? Loosh is like, just gives them all of that. And if we keep reacting, like, yeah, shit happens. You just made an awesome sandwich and it fell on the floor on the side you had to eat, and like, fuck, like, I just really wanted that. And, you know, you, like, open a little candy and there's, like, a fucking ant in there or whatever. Tons of things can happen. And if you react, they get the loosh out. So, the more you react, the more you yell at life, the more you get triggered, the more, like, you're a freaking amazing product. They love you. You produce so much energy. Like, yeah, this person is great. But instead of really killing you, instead of really messing you up, they're gonna push you to the limit of suicide, of like, fuck this life, I really hate it, and you're gonna be depressed and everything else happens. And then they're gonna give you some free time. Relax. Give you something good, so that you would not really look at yourself, not really look at you're being targeted. It's more like, no, just life happens. Here, have a good few days, a few weeks. Be happy. And then they're gonna give you things you like or want to satisfy you, and boom, they're gonna really mess you up again. We're like, it's a fucking loosh farm. We're the products. So the less you react, the worse of a product you are, and you become useless. So, it's a lot of work. It is. It's not easy, it's not fun, but if we are aware of what triggers us, and are able to start confronting it and deal with it one way or the other. Like for me, it used to be my dad. My dad used to be quite a big trigger in my life. Like being in the same house with him, in the same room. Like he didn't do any sexual abuse or anything, just his personality. It switched. It's like he became so distant to me, and then like just having to be in the same place with him. Like he's just in the next room, and like let's say my mom's gone. I hate it. I didn't want to leave my room. I would pretty much like just leave my room when Mom would get back home. Like, oh, finally, I feel safe getting out. Like, I just really hate this energy. And, you know, how I dealt with it was, what can I do to not get triggered? How can I handle conversations with him? How can I handle myself? What can I do to get better? And my focus, like, like, get a new place. That was the best fucking escape. And, like, getting my own place was, like, freaking amazing. And every single thing in my life, every kind of trigger that happens, it's like, okay, look, what happened here? All these emotions and stuff. Like, I'm lucky, like, I'm finding these primitive ways. You know, like, I listen to Tony Robbins, maybe Gary Vaynerchuk, and all of these little things I learned. Like, for example, well, I didn't like how I used to look. Like, you know, like the whole COVID and me, like, fuck, like, I'm not gonna take care of myself as much as I used to. I'm gonna give priority to other things. And, like, really, like, I gained a lot of weight. Like, not too much, but for myself, it was, like, beyond, like, hey, I don't like that look. I don't like how I feel. So, it wasn't... It's really wrong way to go with, I feel inspired to work out. I feel like having this body would be great. So now I have motivation to work out, and only then I'm gonna take action to do it. If that's the way your life works, you're never gonna do it. Like, you're gonna be freaking lucky if something fucking inspires you. But you have to flip it with, I don't feel like it, but I'm just gonna take action. And I'm just gonna do it. Like, fuck it. And you do it, and all of a sudden you get inspiration because you just started doing it. Like, you just started working out. Like, okay, well, it's been a few minutes, you stretched out, you did a few things, and it feels like you could do a bit more. And a bit more. Like, you don't have to overdo it, but it just feels kind of good moving around and doing little things. Like, my dog, like, taught me, like, hey, if not for him, I wouldn't be leaving my house as much. Like, fuck that. It's raining. It's snowing. I don't want to go out when it's muddy and it's all, like puddles and everything. Like, ugh, I don't want to walk in there. But we go out. The moment I leave the house, I'm like, it's not so bad. I walk around, like, it's been 30 minutes of walking. I'm like, I like it. We should go somewhere else. Let's go. And I'm all excited and stuff. So just fucking do it. And then you're gonna feel, like, better and stuff like that. But it's a lot of freaking work. And, like, I'm talking a lot. But thank you all for listening. It's like, you're my, like, freaking counselor or whatever.